Probably need the mic. Hi!
Hello! Welcome to the first ever episode of the D20 Afterhours. Which, we don't know whether you'll be hearing this episode or not. This is really a test episode. What's so funny?
Historical moment. This is where it all went downhill.
Yeah, this is basically, it could be the first and only.
Yeah, I think we've already hit the bottom of the hill, and now we've got spades, and we're just kind of...
Yeah, pretty much.
Why is bedrock so soft?
That's just the way it is. So basically, this is our new podcast after closing down the last podcast, which we'll talk about one day. I don't think we'll talk about it today. But yeah, this is our new podcast where we just kind of just talk about things with people from the games. So we might as well do the introductions. I'm Dave, obviously, if you're a fan of our channel or follow our channel. Fan, that's weird. I hate saying that. But yeah, I'm Dave. That's Ollie.
Hi!
It's a podcast, you can't just do that.
Oh. Hi!
Tom? Tom?
I was gonna try to...
Tom already forgot his name, so I'm your fucking flying
I'm Matt Mercer. No, I'm Tom.
I can't believe you did that, Tom. And then you looked at me and then pointed at me. And Will.
So I'm Will. I play Gorstag in the Black Winter Nights game.
The follower of Pelor.
He tries to convert everybody to Pelor. Yeah, what do you play, Tom? Do you remember who you play?
Zai, Kai, Mai.
He said Zai first. He said my message.
He did that deliberately. I can tell when he does it deliberately. When you do it accidentally and try and fob it off, is doing it deliberately.
My whole life I do accidentally and try to flop it off as if I do.
And I'm the only one apparently that calls you out on it.
You are the only person in 28 years.
It's because no one lets it. And we've got someone in...
His parents should have...
I've got Jason. Hi, Jason.
Jason Hoover, and you're on. Alright.
Yeah.
Hi, Jason.
So this is really going to be our test episode because, we need to test it before we do our first official episode where we have an official guest. We will have Conan McCreeg.
Sorry, I just love... Well, we have, real guests.
Yeah. Not the ones that
People
show
that
up all the time when we're desperate.
No, real.
Just the real ones.
So this is essentially episode 0.
This is episode 0, which we did of Black Winter Nights and Elisia as well, just to see if it would work or not. It ended up working, alright, and that's pretty much why we're doing this particular episode. So whether the content is good content.
Well,
yeah, you've already missed some cracker stories before we started streaming.
Yeah, I don't think we should repeat those stories.
No, I am with you on that.
No, so I guess we'll talk about some topical things like Justice League. Has anyone seen Justice League?
Yes, we saw it together.
I know. I was addressing the ones that aren't you, Ollie.
No, I have not.
Yeah. What have you heard about it?
nothing. But
You've heard
I'm
nothing.
I'm not a huge DC fan. So it's just...
I've heard it's better than some of the other ones mainly because Joss Whedon did a lot of rewrites on the script, which can only help. And I haven't really been a big fan of the other DC Universe movies, which is why I wasn't jumping to go and see this one. I don't know. I like just to have fun and not just be kind of bored and sad when I go to movies. So that's kind of what put me off most of the other DC.
I think that's why the movie failed. It wasn't fun.
Yeah.
It didn't feel satisfying of the group getting together and actually accomplishing a goal. It kind of oh, they're together now. Of characters we've really seen in other movies.
Question, because probably my favourite one of all the DC and Marvel recently was Deadpool. I thought that was wonderful, fourth wall breaking and risque comedy. What would be your favourites of the
Well, it depends what you're talking about. Marvel is complicated because Deadpool and, say, Captain America, two different universes. Yeah. They're not set in the same one. Yeah. So when you talk about Marvel, you have to, do you talk about the MCU, which is Thor, Captain America, the big Avengers? Yeah. Or do you talk about X-Men, Deadpool and all that, as separate things?
Yeah.
Or as one thing, as one Marvel?
So, treating it as two universes, but because we're experiencing both universes in our universe, then I think you can...
They're going to be combining them as well for Infinity War.
No.
Are they?
No,
because...
X-Men is owned by Fox.
I was wrong because the guy who plays Cable in Deadpool 2 is also Thanos.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, oh wait, that's right, but they're not. So
you're Josh Brolin. He's a big guy as well.
Yeah,
he's a massive guy. So I would say Deadpool's the funniest.
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
Sure. I would say the best, although Marvel movie, if you take just the humor, don't just base it on the humor. I would say Captain America Civil War.
Ooh, right.
I like that one the most at the moment.
I probably preferred Winter Soldier to Civil War, but I agree they're probably both in the top 5 for me in the two. I think my favourite of them all would be Thor Ragnarok probably. But then, I mean, partially because I've seen that more recently.
And it's a New Zealand
director. So I'm kind of like obligated to. But I don't know. I just kind of I was getting a bit burned out with them just because they're like there's so many that come out. But this is the first one that felt quite fresh.
Yeah.
In a while, just because it was more of a comedy than the other ones, and a lot of the jokes do land. And like the aesthetic of it was fucking cool. And yeah,
I would say plus you got more of Hulk, like proper Hulk, like. All the other movies that come before is just pretty much Hulk hulking out.
Yeah, and that's and like World War Hulk, I think is like one of the best Hulk stories, or probably the best one realistically. Because Hulk comics never really done for me. World War Hulk, amazing though.
Yeah,
and like this is the first time you've ever seen it really referenced in a movie, which is cool.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see whether they go to because apparently they said that the Hulk. They had some behind the scenes talk, and they've got a 3-picture kind of story arc for the Hulk. So this is the first chapter of this arc. So what I think is going to happen is like him establishing the fact that Hulk is its own personality, which they did.
Yeah.
And he did say during the movie that if he hulks out again, he doesn't know if he can come back.
Yeah.
And he did hulk out again, but he didn't revert back to Bruce Banner at the end. So this could be just the fact of the Hulk now being like just the Hulk the entire way through.
That'd be World War Hulk.
Yeah. One of my favourite things about going to the movies is the satisfying moment at the end when you finish your popcorn and stuff, and the credits are rolling, and we're playing that game to see whose name shows up the most often in the credits, and then you see people leaving, and it's just like
I never understand why people still leave Marvel movies like just as the credits start. It's like every single one has like at least 2 post credits.
Well, I think you have to realize that for the casual viewer. Yeah, doesn't really care about that.
Filthy casuals.
Filthy casuals.
Filthy.
I mean, if you're
to me, those like 3-second bits, they make the movie.
Yeah.
It completely changes the tone.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, exactly. Without those, they're trash.
Exactly.
But, with those, they're cinematic art. Like,
I actually often just only show up for the last bit. I just
you buy a ticket and just wait outside.
Yeah, I just like eat popcorn and kind of like look at the walls and stuff, and then the credits, and I run in and sit down.
I have to ask, right? And I know I'm changing topic, but I have to ask. Was Justice League better than Suicide Squad?
I didn't see Suicide Squad.
I've seen both. I was with a girl during Suicide Squad,
so you
I'm
really
a little bit biased. And she loved it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I was kind of like it felt. You can tell when the movies are heavily influenced by the studio than the director.
Yeah.
And Suicide Squad was kind of like 1 second it was one thing, next second it was a different thing.
Yeah, completely.
And they tried when they introduced the characters, they did that weird kind of like even like Borderlands kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you play Borderlands, like once the character's introduced, it says their name, and then there's like a coloured background, and that freeze
focuses on them. And
more important question: with the Marvel universe and DC universe, obviously there's multiple incarnations. There's a lot of characters that do different stuff in both universes. But real question: which is better out of the movie Pitch Perfect and Pitch Perfect 2?
I mean, Pitch Perfect 2 obviously I love it. I don't actually know enough about any of the movies to make a joke about this. So yeah.
I think
good job.
Continuity. I think the continuity is off. I don't think they flow.
Yeah, they just lost some of the essence of the characters in the second one.
I think like okay, well I have seen both of them because my girlfriend really enjoys Pitch Perfect. I just put that out there. But
there's a third one coming out soon as well. So yeah.
Well, apparently Anna Kendrick really took hold, and she really. And you can tell she really pushed the movie into what it was. It was so like Shining-esque, like Saw, like she just combined them all together, and it's just you can tell in the character that.
See, I like any movie where you can sing along. Like down at Embassy, they've got the Spice Girls movie. I don't know if it's already been, but they encourage people to show up in costume and sing along. And I thought, well, that is the kind of event I want to be there.
Oh, so you're gonna go in leotard?
Oh hell yeah! I've already got 3 picked out. Of course, I need to like do a bit of a parade and see which one works best with the theme of the night. I've got some henna, long eyeshadow. It's gonna look good.
No, look. If you need makeup, I can't do it.
Yeah.
But I'll be there.
Yeah. Sure. It's like the time I went to an 80s party as a women's aerobics instructor, so I had like side ponytail, boob tube. I was looking hot, but no one told me the party was at a biker bar. So I show up and get these scary dudes, big beards, tattoos on their eyeballs kind of thing, staring at me drinking whiskeys. But no, they loved it. They pat me on the back.
And is that how you lost your virginity?
Yeah.
No, that was the guy that I met in... no. Yeah.
And now live with.
It's a podcast. We have to talk.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
No, but while I was at the op shop looking for like lycra spandex and stuff, I forgot that I was in a very revealing skirt. Like, I'm fine with, wearing skirts, but this is a very revealing skirt. I forgot that was on, because I was only looking at the top, and then I wandered out to find more pants, and nothing but a very short skirt, and people looking...
Probably was one of your proudest moments in your life.
I looked hot, to be fair. My thighs were jiggling like Jell-O on a Sunday afternoon.
It's like little schoolgirl Ollie making his way through the op shop.
I'm trying to think of a cool segue to a different topic. Can't really think of anything at the moment.
Just keep talking about my thighs.
Segues.
So Justice League.
Justice League. Yeah, I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah. So what do you think about the thighs?
Okay, who's your favorite character like in Marvel, DC? And we're not talking about just movies. We're talking about anything. So because I like DC and Marvel, there's certain strengths in different formats and so forth. But let's say generically, you're gonna pick one character from both kind of universes.
One for each, or just
one for each?
Okay.
Go for one for each, just to give a selection.
DC, hands down, John Constantine.
Oh, that's good.
I love Hellblazer. I didn't enjoy the Keanu Reeves one as much. I didn't like the live action was a good idea.
Do you like the TV series?
Huh?
The TV series?
Yeah. It was pretty good.
It was good.
Because I only just started reading the original Sin, Hellblazer, and I was like, wait, I recognize this plot line. Like, where have I seen? Oh, the TV show. So they kept completely true to the original comics in the TV series.
That's good.
The TV series was really good, and they the TV series came first, and then they incorporated what happened in the TV series and the character into the Arrowverse.
Have they?
Yeah, because he turned up. He turned up on one of the episodes of Arrow. And
really?
To resurrect, to bring Sarah's soul back to her body.
Oh my gosh.
So Constantine came on, and he was part of the flashback of Ollie being on the island, and also in the present day.
Wow.
And so he's part of that universe, and he's going to reappear on Legends of Tomorrow.
I really hope they bring because I thought they cancelled after the first season.
They did, but because of the fan reception of it,
yeah,
they brought the character back, so technically he's part of that universe.
I hope they bring it more. I love Constantine.
Well, quick question, because someone actually went through Doctor Who, the whole timeline of Doctor Who, including the old stuff and the new stuff, and they mapped out the wars and where he meets the Daleks at different times, and it actually all makes sense. All the crossovers of going back into different times and stuff. There's no mistakes in the linear and the time thing. Do you reckon it's the same with Marvel and DC? Do you reckon there's no?
They recon things all the time.
Yeah.
And they reboot everything all the time. Like at 1 second, Batgirl's crippled, like Oracle.
Yeah.
All of a sudden she's not.
Yeah.
That's why they have those big, Crisis on Infinite Earth and all those kind of events every so often.
So
they can get rid of all the stuff that isn't working and just kind of go back to stuff that is working.
And you kind of have to after 60 years of multiple comics coming out a month.
Yeah. And I think that's really good. DC Rebirth was really, really good. Not all of it, but on the whole, there's a lot of really strong comics from there.
What I find fascinating about Rebirth, though, is that they incorporated Watchmen into it.
Ooh,
so
really?
Watchmen is now part of the DC... They were owned by the same company, Warner Brothers, but they never really integrated the the characters together. So now they have. Or they put hints in, it's clear, and there's very mixed reception. I think it's healthy for giving a new kind of flavour to
I think as a concept I don't like it, and I haven't read any of the stuff that has Watchmen, under that. But I just think it's kind of missing the point to incorporate something that's a meta narrative about superheroes like Watchmen and with an actual just superhero story. I don't know. It just doesn't the whole point of Watchmen, right? Is just it's about
it's commentary.
It's commentary on it, and to actually have those characters in there is just kind of it's kind of all the extra Watchmen stuff that came out that wasn't done by Alan Moore. After the movie was quite popular, and it's just this is just kind of a cash in, in my opinion, and I don't really think they've done really much.
I agree, definitely it was a cash in, but I also think why not?
Yeah,
it adds a different kind of perspective and element, and you imagine Dr. Manhattan versus Batman.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing Batman could literally do.
Oh, but that's the same.
And he has a way of defeating Superman.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, without getting into a who's going to beat up who, the only reason that they write Batman as can beat up Superman is because that's what the fans want, right? But if you actually think about it, there's no way. But
well, that's why I like Injustice, because have you read Injustice?
Yeah.
I haven't read it, but I've played it.
I gave Ollie Injustice.
Yeah.
And it's basically a civil war of DC. It's Batman versus Superman, and what would happen if Superman just said F it. just got to kill the Joker, put his hand directly through the Joker.
Well, what I'm reading at the moment is Marvel Zombies.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, it's got some cool gore and rot, which I quite enjoy.
So to get back on track, so you Constantine.
And
now Marvel. So
one of my this kind of ties in. Marvel is really hard for me. I love so many people, but I have to I've been reading everything new and I'm really enjoying it. I think my favorite has to be Yes. There's too many. There's too many.
Yes. I think it means Yes Man, and that's
no. There's just way too many. It's too hard to think of. But I'm
move on to Will.
yeah. Sorry. Have you guys? Sorry, the Legacy. Have you guys read any of that yet?
No.
So Marvel has done Marvel. The way Marvel does it is.
That's a new thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
so they retcon, but they don't. They basically there was a comic called Ultimates, the Ultimates.
Yeah.
And that was their way of explaining everything that was about to come. So they explained it that the entire storyline of everything is completely interchangeable. There's no defined timeline. So that's why everything can happen and then instantly everything changes. And Legacy, which is
coming
up.
That's not confusing at all.
No, nah. But it's pretty much. Legacy is all the new stuff, and they're bringing back tons of people. Wolverine's coming back. Bruce Banner.
No comic book character stays dead for a while.
No. Yeah, I think that's that thing. I think Homer, when he was posed with the question of, yes, but in this episode he says this, and then later it makes no sense. He just says, anytime something like that happens, a wizard did it. Yeah. And I think that's probably true.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's quite hard, especially how Marvel and DC are more. It's all about the movies nowadays. So whenever a movie comes out about a particular character, the comic books have to reflect their personalities from the movies.
Yeah.
And it influences storytelling.
Yeah. So I just remembered, Marvel is Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah. I really love the movie, and the current comic book writer who does Doctor Strange, I've just loved his work. So I've been really enjoying it so far. Sorry.
No, I was interrupting you, so it's fine. Dr. Horrible. Josh Whedon, Neil Patrick Harris. We actually, the Wellington Improv Troupe hired out a small theatre, and so we were one of the few people in the world that sing that on the big screen. Yeah, it was hella good. Awesome. Nathan Fillion, who was in Auckland for Armageddon and didn't come to Wellington, and I was gutted.
Because Armageddon wasn't on in Wellington?
No, we had it in Wellington.
Yeah, but not at the same time. I mean, he only can come at certain times.
I know, but come to
He should have waited around for months.
He should have been there.
What the fuck does Nathan Fillion have going on these days?
He's the voice of Destiny too.
I'm sitting there with just a picture of him and just here.
Yeah. Or maybe
you could have gone to Auckland.
I could have, but it's Auckland. I've been there twice and I've regretted it both times.
We apologise for anyone that lives in Auckland.
Unfortunately, I can't go there again because I've seen Police 10-7. I know what goes on there. I don't want to be stabbed with a screwdriver in the eye. I'm trying to find
New Zealand's not that dangerous. I'm sorry, Ollie. It's not Police 10-7. That's like months and months of footage pushed together in a 30-minute episode of like 3 bad people. And they're very minor bad people. It's like, why were you driving on the wrong side of the road?
One of the funniest things I've ever done is watch Cops, the American Police 10-7, and then Police 10-7. Because Police 10-7 is like, excuse me, that pie is actually paid $1. It's actually $1.50. Like, shit, sorry, I'm so sorry, here's 50 cents. And the American one is like, oh my god, he's got a machine gun, quick, hide the cocaine.
Hide the cocaine? Are the police doing
that?
Or the bad guys doing it?
It's just,
quickly, plant a gun on them. You know?
I gotta say, like, my favorite thing is, like, in America, you do watch Cops, right? And you get see all these crazy moments. You're like, whoa, adrenaline packed. Come here, it's like, all right, we're closing the highway. There's a sheep on the road. Like, we might have to take it out. Like, that's a big oh no, though.
I think
that happens so many times as well here.
I think that's why we get so puzzled when we hear about bad things happening in America. We're just like,
but how did? But so one of the main reasons I watched that show is I always wanted to see someone that was handcuffed try and flee, because people try and flee all the time.
Yeah.
But after about a year of watching the show, it finally happened. The guy tries to run whilst handcuffed, and the cop goes no, and just reaches out and pulls him back. He gets 2 steps.
How Ollie just hates cops.
Yeah.
He hates it. But a year of watching it, he's just trying to hope to catch.
Ollie is by nature paranoid.
Yeah, it's true. Another thing that I like to do with daytime TV when I was like largely unemployed was they had like quiz shows, and I would always just answer every question with the word Steve. So who, what do you get when you combine argon with helium? Hey, Steve! But at one point I said Steve, and it was Steve, and my whole life was validated. Everything fell into place.
Cool story, bro. That's really a cool story.
I think I'm too depressed to go on with the podcast now.
No, that was just. I'm sorry, but I have to know. Favorite DC, favorite Marvel.
Alright. That's our route. That's like we go on tangents.
No, I want to know everyone's opinion.
Yep, no, that's fair.
So I can judge you accordingly.
Yeah. So we'll go DC first.
DC, probably Superman. But only when, like, I don't know. I mean, like the normal Superman where he just like punches dudes like real hard is pretty boring, obviously. But like the ones that I like are when they kind of like have the stories about like him wrestling with what the right thing to do is when he can basically do anything.
Yeah.
And like stories like Kingdom Come and things like that, which are kind of about like he can wield this power but chooses not to because he doesn't think it's morally good. So it's kind of like his basically being a being of like relatively limitless power, but kind of wrestling with his own like moral humanity, exactly.
When he's not actually human.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the kind of stuff I find most interesting. So and
I was like. Yeah. Superman came from that time where superheroes could do anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And then superheroes have evolved so much of having weaknesses and flaws and all that, but Superman is kind of like they've tried to build weaknesses into him instead of him starting off with weaknesses, and that's why I don't think I've ever kind of been attached to Superman.
I also do kind of like about him is that they like I know like anti-heroes and stuff can be interesting and like real flawed characters and stuff, but it's just like if every character's like that, it is actually boring as hell. Like, not everyone should be like some guy who's like tortured because all his family are dead and now he like inflicts pain on people to get revenge and all that kind of stuff. Like, you don't want like Batman's a cool character, but you don't want every fucking character.
I thought you were calling out Punisher.
Oh, Punisher. I actually really like Punisher, to be fair. Like, but again, I don't want every single character to be that.
Like, he's not rich or anything. He's just a guy with PTSD.
Have you guys seen that? Yeah. Have you guys seen the Netflix series?
I have.
I've watched about half of it. I'm getting through. I'm enjoying
halfway through it. Yeah, but I really.
Yeah, I'm liking it so far.
And just a bit of trivia for like superheroes with weaknesses. Green Lantern's weakness was wood.
Yeah. And the colour yellow.
Not Ollie. I know that's
you can say
wood isn't a tree.
I was gonna say mornings must be very difficult.
Apologise for that inappropriate comment by Ollie.
Actually,
I never apologise.
Essentially, a Green Lantern can be defeated by.
It's not anymore.
No
anymore.
But original Green Lantern can be defeated by like
a forest.
Yeah,
I just picture like him showing up. There's all these minions of the bad guy tied up, beaten, bloody. He just walks to the main bad guy and says, "I've come for you." And the guy just throws a plank of wood at him. And he's like, "Oh no, my one!"
The wood burns.
I was gonna say he goes to all these minions, he's knocking them all out, and all of a sudden it's Treebeard.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh shit,
my mortal enemy."
Well, the guy's just in a wooden cabin, so he's like, all right, I'll wait a hand till you come out. Like, I'll get you, you know.
Can't stay there forever.
He's by the window, just looking.
From inside. I can't, I've got Wi-Fi in here.
Alright, so Marvel.
Marvel's tricky, actually. I haven't read Marvel comics in quite some time. Probably like... I'm probably more of a fan of teams as well. Like, so there are like maybe some teams with like characters I especially like, but like even like the the comics, Avengers, I really like them. X-Men, things like that. But I mean, like, if I had to pick one character from those,
well, you have to because that's the
game.
Exactly. Stop breaking the rules, Will.
Yeah, exactly. Probably Cyclops. Cyclops is up there.
He's been a very vanilla character for a long time, but recently he's kind of...
Yeah, exactly. And I read a few arcs where he's just written so well, and it's because like writers have gone out of their way to change him from being a real kind of boring character.
Well, Boy Scout.
Exactly, the Boy Scout kind of thing.
I used to have a toy, the visor lit up.
Do you like the young or old one?
The young or old one?
Yeah. So there's a displaced version of a younger X-Men team, like the original. It's their way of bringing back the original X-Men. Yeah. But they're all teenagers.
Oh, okay.
And it's like they brought him so that the current Cyclops could see how twisted he was in comparison.
So Beast tried to correct things. Yeah. And because this was the time where Cyclops had his own like separate group. This is after Professor Xavier died. Yeah. So Beast went back in time, brought the original 5 back there because Jean Grey wasn't around as well. And try to show Cyclops who he used to be. Oh, right. And you shouldn't be basically a mutant terrorist by this point. He was the new Magneto.
Oh, right. Yeah, actually, that's how much I've not been really keeping up with.
But it failed tremendously.
Oh, okay. So. Yeah. But it's led to a lot of cool comics and interesting things. So like Cyclops became a part of the Champions, and and there's X-Men Blue, which is those 5, and there's Jean Grey discovering herself, and it's a whole lot of cool stuff.
No, Ollie, I see that look every single time.
It's my child.
I know. All right.
Sorry, I also have to give a special mention to Colossus and Wolverine when Colossus throws Wolverine at people.
Yeah.
Every time that happens in the comic, I'm just like,
Speedball special.
Speedball special. I'm just like, fuck yeah, this is just real good. I don't care whatever else happens in the comic. Yeah. That's a good comic if that happens in it.
But yeah, when I throw kittens at people in Tesco, suddenly, it's the society.
Where's Tesco?
So I can't think of any actual...
So you said a random American place.
I didn't think of Kmart. I don't know why Tesco...
You live next to a fucking supermarket, and you reference one that's in the UK or whatever.
Like Tesco, I don't know.
It's like you try and do a comedy bit, and then we just rip you for it.
Well, it's like... How is
you're shit and should never try.
It's Tesco advertising is obviously better than Countdown advertising because Tesco
like,
came to mind first.
Mr. Meeseeks, he's trying. He's trying.
All right, Ollie, now it's your turn.
Right.
And I know this will be dangerous because you get confused of who's with what.
No, I don't.
Okay,
so
go
anyway.
Marvel. I'll go DC first.
See, I had the Marvel one prepared, but
Go Marvel first.
Yeah, we do DC first. I mean, that's the way
Deadpool.
Deadpool's Marvel.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said Nightcrawler.
Okay, DC. Nightcrawler's Marvel too.
Okay, give me some DC ones, just so.
Superman?
That's Superman. Oh, you got it right. The first one. How coincidental. That was the one you said it right off the... Wow, that was
what a coincidence.
I was so lucky.
Because that's already said, how about Sentinel? Because that's already been picked.
You're not allowed to have the same favorite. Exactly.
I chose Superman.
Because we want to be able to
Batman
talk about other things.
Diversity.
More diverse characters.
Batman because his superpower is money.
Yeah.
that's what it is. If I ever win Lotto, that's the path I'm going to take.
I personally see Batman's superpowers as a strong force of will, but okay.
Yeah, but that would get him very not as far if he didn't have the millions of dollar suits and equipment.
Here's a question for you. Green Lantern, who's he with? DC or Marvel?
Yeah.
DC.
Nice.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah,
I mean,
you're redeemed now.
That's always a point toss.
So Marvel, it's difficult because I love Wolverine just because he is comedy in the sense that he's a badass and that's
he's Canadian, and
he's Canadian, so that's hilarious because he's from Canada.
Yeah, Canadians don't exist.
But I actually have to say Gambit because I love Gambit. I really want him to have his own movie.
Yeah.
He's essentially a low life criminal gambler type.
It's the cards. Yeah. It's the cards, isn't it?
No, it's the fact that he's a delinquent that got superpowers, essentially.
Yeah.
He was skeezing around bars and cheating people out of money
and then falls in love with someone that can't be touched.
And
that's very...
Yeah,
I think
it's that whole thing.
Have you seen have you heard the casting for the movie, the Gambit movie?
No.
Channing Tatum.
Man,
that's an interesting choice.
Yeah, I know.
I can't really see it at this point, but
it's like I can't picture it. I cannot picture it. It kills me.
Well, yeah. He needs the accent. Because he doesn't have an accent.
Yeah.
Unless they do it without the accent, and then everyone's going to be put off by that.
Everyone's going to be.
I mean, I'm sure he could put on an accent. He's an actor, right?
Have you ever heard him do an accent?
No, I can't think of it. It's not good.
So some actors have done accents and shit, but because it's supposed to be he's supposed to have very French.
Damn it! We just lost a viewer now. Channing Tatum has dropped off the list.
Sorry, Channing.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
He was such a fan of the show as well.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things that Gambit has ever done is when he and Wolverine fighting. Wolverine's just trying to intimidate Gambit, and he pops the claws, and Gambit grabs the claw, and he starts to heat it up, right? Like he starts to charge it, and he goes, "So what? Do we want to play chicken?" And Logan puts back the claws, and he goes, "Well, wrong hand," and shoves a pole into Logan. He blows it up. But it was one of my favorite interactions.
Was that Ultimates? I think that was from the Ultimates.
What? This was years ago. This was like years.
Well, maybe Ultimate, because Ultimate's about 10 years.
Yeah.
I think the Ultimate Gambit was a good representation of Gambit, because he never became an X-Men. He was kind of like he's
on the kind of the fringes of it.
They try to recruit him, but it doesn't really work, and he's got the thing with Rogue and stuff.
He's in Astonishing X-Men now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's now. Like
in
the past, he was more of like a rogue. Rogue. I get it, like
rogue character. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I guess my turn. Yeah. DC. Nightwing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Interesting.
Mainly because he's Batman's first son, kind of, and he was raised by Batman, but he's not Batman. He's kind of like if Batman had a little bit more optimism.
Yeah.
And I just like like Nightwing. I think his story is really interesting. It was just as tragic as Bruce Wayne's story, but because of Bruce Wayne, he didn't turn up like Bruce Wayne. He was more cheerful. He's his own hero. He's a lot more positive. I like this thing that he has with Batgirl, which that's why the animated movie got me real pissed off, where Batman sleeps with Batgirl.
Oh right, yeah, that was just such a bad.
That's Jim Gordon's daughter.
Yeah,
and just that because that was I think it was the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
It was the Killing Joke, and that never happens in the Killing Joke.
Yeah.
And they just threw that in, and it just felt so out of place, and I hated that. But yeah, Nightwing, and I really want them to make a live action.
I thought you meant like what's his name from the Watchmen, Owl Knight. Was that
Owlman.
Is it Night Owl or?
Night Owl. Yeah, Night Owl too. Technically, he's Night Owl too. But yeah, Nightwing's my favorite. And Marvel, we've got so many.
This is not like that's the other thing. Is like,
I was gonna say Deadpool, but Ollie said that, so I have to pick a different one because that's the rule.
No, Marvel was Gambit for me.
Oh yeah, Gambit. Yeah,
I do like Deadpool. Was one of my favorite movies of late.
Beast.
Nice.
Beast.
I like Beast because he's like a real positive character, but he messed up big time. Like the reason why he's blue in that is because he tried to cure himself.
Yeah.
And that was like he's all about being who you are. And X-Men is a big kind of like a commentary on bigotry and racism and discrimination, and his character was about trying to change him to look more normal. And what happened just made it worse. And now he accepts that, and he slowly goes for more mutations of getting more beastier and something like that control. So I like that.
That kind of theme is also quite popular in D&D. A lot of times when you play a campaign, you play a campaign where magic is a thing to be feared. It's the same thing that the X-Men kind of come across as well, that discrimination of being different. Really, we're all just people inside.
Just some people.
Look at that.
Exactly.
Look at Ollie tying it back to the main topic of D&D.
What actually going on that front? What do people think about alignment? Does it have a place in modern day D&D? Because I honestly don't think it does anymore.
No, I think that morality is a wavering force, and having to say something like, I can't do what I want to do because my character, I chose this alignment.
It's lawful good or something like that.
When even though it makes sense in the story, it's essential, it's integral, and your character in a real scenario would be able to say, well, for this specific scenario, I can change this part of me. Limiting character choices in that way, I think is outdated.
I mean, isn't that just about like playing a character though? Like, so I reckon, because I mean, I think like, say for example, you're playing a lawful good character, right? Then you are playing someone who is so unwavering in their there's no such thing as compromise to that person, right? Because otherwise they wouldn't be a lawful good; they'd be like a neutral good or a chaotic good, right? Yeah. Like they just they will only do what they think is right, and it's all exclusion, no matter what they have to sacrifice for it.
I suppose you could.
And so you could say that that's a character choice to that. I mean, personally, I agree with you. I don't think alignment is a particularly helpful thing. I think it should because then you only have 9 different types of characters you can play.
Also, the difficult thing would be if you were playing lawful good and I was playing lawful evil, and we came across a scenario where we had to work as a team, and it's a very decision that screws
and that's kind of it. I mean, obviously, I don't actually role play as a lawful good character, and when I'm playing Gorstag in the stream, because that would just be boring as hell for me and everyone else. Right. But but it would be things where if I actually was and I was I wouldn't actually be able to be in a party with a lot of the people, or be okay with a lot of the decisions that are made by people in the party. It just wouldn't make any sense. Yeah. So you've got to be fluid about I think you've just got to understand you are working with other people, to play the game. You can't just be my character says no, he doesn't like you because you steal shit, and and I'm going to turn you into the guard the first chance I get. That just wouldn't be fun.
Also, I mean, I volunteer with young people with mental illness, but I also like kicking puppies, so it's it's tricky.
The duality of man. The duality of man.
I've never played a campaign where we've had alignment, and this might just be me personally, but I like to play in the character and enjoy the character and kind of think about what would my character do, but at the same time add my own flavor. So I don't see myself playing alignment. I don't see myself looking at something and going, chaotic evil. Okay, well, this is what my character would do, but this is what I want to do. Yeah. And I can understand that that's a big role, but at the same time, I'd be too worried about having to always stick to my alignment. Does this match? Does this fit? And that kind of would hinder me a little bit. I wouldn't enjoy it as much as if it was just all right, my character really enjoys this, right? Like, even though it might not be great, you can still enjoy things you don't you don't enjoy. I mean, will you not? You know what I mean?
Well, say also, say you're starting at level 1, and you don't even, and as a new character, you don't even know your character yet. I think it should be more like Fable, right? You get given a whole bunch of choices throughout the game where you can act good or bad, and depending on your choices, that determines your alignment. That determines what you turn into in the later parts of the game.
I think alignment is really just used for a guide of how you react to certain situations. I mean, but the problem that I have with alignment is the fact that if you change alignment, or the DM determines you go too far whatever way, you can get punished with losing experience, losing a level, all these other stuff, which shouldn't really happen. You don't become less experienced by becoming more evil. It's the complete opposite, really.
It's interesting as hell to watch a character change from a good character into a more evil character.
Yeah, but you don't get weaker for it. No. I mean, if you're an evil character and you're becoming good...
Yeah, like killing a whole bunch of women and kids is probably good, like practice with your sword and stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean, back in the days of World of Warcraft, your skill and... You can actually upgrade your skill when fighting with weapons. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure you just get more skillful.
Elder Scrolls Online, depending on what you use. Skyrim as well.
Well, like, it's a testament to life.
Yeah.
You know?
We got a message in the chat about alignment. Alignment, in my belief, is a thing of the past. To keep players from following gods they are not of the same alignment. Okay.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. Like, and I think
and who was that, right? Just for the record.
Sorry, that's Jay Hoover.
Jay Hoover.
Thanks. WP17.
I also wanted to go back to something you said just before, Oliver, about like how you know it's about making choices and that determines where your character ends up. I think like that is the difference. Like if you go into at level 1 with an idea of my character is going to be exactly this.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be this paragon of good or this really evil person who's going to do all these things. But like, I mean, if you I don't know. I think it's a lot more interesting to actually let your character develop through and then find out what your character would do in a certain situation by having that situation come up and then developing them, and then you can actually look at the actions you've taken as, am I actually a good, am I playing a good character or am I playing an evil character, Like,
also, not only just introducing yourself to your character, but depending on the world and how the world operates, that can very much have a thing on your character. And some DMs will have a rule that if you don't like the alignment or the class that you're playing within the first couple of sessions, you can change it. Personally, I think it takes longer to figure out a character. I think it takes a month or two, maybe more, to really get connected, and that's when you really know what your character is about. So you're trying to determine
now, let me ask this, and we're really I don't want to dive too much into our own campaign, but
why not?
But I guess Well, but we in our campaign as the Black Winter Knights. What is it? Shiver managed to release the Prince of Lies. I can never remember his name. I can't remember their names.
Yeah.
So, would you say that gods can influence your alignment? So, say the Prince of Lies somehow gets in your head, right? And he's just whispering little voices to you throughout the game and the campaign. Would you say that? I mean, as a character, would you say that can they affect your alignment?
Right.
Well, because you're being influenced by someone else. It's not you. It's not your alignment.
Yeah.
So it's essentially, it's not an alignment issue. It's about what happens when those voices get taken away. Yeah. Have you changed?
Okay.
So I think that would be the more of the question, because if someone's controlling you, if I mind control you and tell you to hit him, it doesn't make you less of an evil person.
No.
Yeah.
Because I'm controlling you.
No. Well, what I mean is like say you every day, right? Every day. Every night. Say every night you make your way up to Ollie's room, and I don't like that. He's sleeping, and you whisper in his ear, "You're like, you're gorgeous. You're absolutely wonderful. You're a tiger." And he every day wakes up, and he becomes more and more like boastful. He's always like in a good mood, right? You are affecting him.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And it's just like it's something. It's the minor things.
But if I stop doing it, what would he change? Would have.
I would start. If you stopped coming to my room, I would.
It would all come down to when I stop doing it, stop controlling him, of the person he is at that point, whether I've had a lasting impact.
Okay. Now we're getting into an interesting philosophical area, because I have 2 nephews who are identical twins, brought up in the same household, rah, vastly different people, very individual. Both.
Yeah. And they both would have had different experiences, similar experiences, but there'll be a lot of cases that were different.
Is that question of personality, is this a thing that's inherent, or is this a thing that builds up in our lives? Personally, I think the brain is a machine that calculates and reacts to information, and the stuff that we determine to be part of our personality is just the construct of how the different chemistries and neural connections in the brain work. So I think it's personality is more a productive program that we run to make society work better. If we believe we are an individual and a person of ourselves rather than a string of numbers, we get more stuff done.
Wait, I got lost. What was the point?
Oh, there's no point.
Oh.
Just supposed to make everyone know he's real smart.
Yeah. It's kind of like you said a lot of words that didn't really make a lot of sense, and I got confused. And I don't really get it.
It comes back again to human nature. Are we inherently one thing or the other?
Yeah. Well, external influence versus internal. Yeah. But no, I was just saying that theoretically, depending on how society had developed, you, instead of being called Dave, could have been called 342, depending on your preferences. You could have been tested at birth and said, oh, he's a 342. Whereas you say, I'm Dave, I like comic books, so I'd say, oh, you're a 342, so, the subsection of that is that this part of information he relates to being good and part of his personal preferences. It's just a thing that we happen to be called people.
Yeah, but under that kind of assumption, that means you can breed two exact same people if you get all the right math, and I don't think you could. I don't think two people could ever be identical.
I'd have to disagree. I think if we can grow someone in a lab, I think
with the exact same controlled sequences and experiences is exactly right, because that means the people they meet have to be exactly the same.
No.
That means everything.
If we did it at this point, if we cloned you right now, for example, do you think you and your clone would be the exact same person?
No.
Okay.
Because if you clone me right now, does the clone know he's a clone? Because as the clone knows he's a clone, that would be a different experience than me, because I know I'm original. Yeah. So me and him will never be the same, because he will know he was a clone and I'll know he was not. So the experiences that I have and the thoughts that I have about myself and the thoughts he'll have about something will be completely different.
Well, see, this is the point that I'm arguing. I think that reactions to information and situations, while we believe it to be part of free will, is just based on the chemistry of the brain. So it's predictable. For example, if you look at a work of art, you're in a hall and you see this painting, you look at the painting and you think, oh my god, it's so beautiful, and you feel sad. That emotion is just an extension of the art itself. So is the reaction to the world is just an extension of the world itself. It reaches into your brain, into your personality.
So you're saying I have no control of my emotions looking at that part?
That's the point that I'm arguing. I'm not saying that's necessarily true.
No, I don't think it's true.
But aren't the emotions you have to, in reaction to anything, a determination of like your experiences? So exactly. You might look at a picture of art that makes most people who say it happy, but it makes you sad because it reminds you of like a loved one who died or some horrible thing that happened in your life, right? So I don't know. I don't think
And I think that could even extend to like people that have suffered through discrimination. It's the fact that their reactions to seeing discrimination and someone that hasn't experienced discrimination seeing that happen, they're going to be two different experiences. That's not constructed for like someone to have both people have the exact same experience. Yeah. No, they won't.
So this brings us back to the key question: Pitch Perfect 1 or 2. That's what we're here.
We're all humans. Yeah. Art is a lie.
I'm looking forward to Pitch Perfect 3 because honestly, Pitch Perfect 1 and 2 was such a good thing for me. It was such a good emotional experience. I was so tied into the story. The songs had me really going. Yeah. I'm looking forward to the third one. It was a masterpiece.
I'm glad one person is. I'm sure you got the night screening.
I'm there by myself in the theatre with popcorn going, oh, this is brilliant.
I mean, I like musicals. One of my favourites is Rent.
I saw Grease.
Sound of Music. I love.
Someone seen Rent? Yeah.
Rent's actually pretty good. Like people rubbish it, but it's a good kind of like commentary on the 90s.
Yeah, my cousin performed in Rent last year. Yeah. Grease is my favourite. I saw that 3 times when I was working at the theatre.
West Side Story.
Yeah, Singing in the Rain for me.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Watch the movies. Probably like top 5 movies of all time for me.
And there's a new one that's coming out, and I see the trailer.
Oh, Grease, I saw live.
Huh?
I saw Grease live. That was incredible. The energy.
It's my story.
Sorry.
I start talking. You're like, oh, by the way, I did this.
You did that to my entire life. No, I was going along and you were like, hey, let's start a channel.
I don't burst into your room and say, hey, guess what I did today?
But I wish you would, Dave. I wish you would.
There's a trailer
coming out.
Yeah. So anyway, ice cream. Yeah.
There's a trailer coming out that's come out, and it's about a movie coming out. It's called The Last Showman.
Right.
Is that the one about
Hugh Jackman? Yeah. And it's the song in the trailer. I'm like, I don't want to see this. And then I listen to the song. I'm like, still don't want to see it. And then I hear the trailer, and I'm like, oh. I actually
Oh man, I won some stuff at work the other day, and one of the things I won was free tickets to Embassy.
Stop making it about yourself!
This is how a conversation works. jokes. When you say something and I say something. But then I realised I already get free tickets at Embassy because Jason works there.
Well, if you want to pass those on, feel free.
We can give them away. It's a competition.
No, I one movie that I watched the other day and like.
Stop making it about you.
Damn it! Damn me and my human nature. I had.
I saw Grease live too.
Stop making it about you.
What a coincidence! What is it that?
3 times.
Okay, so I went and saw Deadpool before I came to Wellington. Before I moved to Wellington, I went and saw Deadpool with a friend, and I said I would watch it with Maddie, my girlfriend. Yeah. And she was really upset because I went so she was like, I get to see one movie without you. And she watched La La Land. And I was really keen to watch La La Land because I love jazz, like the soundtrack sounded amazing and I'm all for jazz, right? And it just touches the soul. Yeah. And I finally watched it a few days ago with her. She being in the UK after like a couple months of going, let's watch it, and then never watching it. Yeah. So and I loved it.
Cool.
Yeah. But like, if you haven't seen it, have you not? I'll manage to. Yeah.
I'll watch it if I want to watch it.
It's really good. I really enjoyed it. I hated the ending though. It's like
so don't watch the ending, just turn it off. Have you guys seen? There's an extension for I think it's Chrome, where you can synchronize videos that you're watching online. So you can go on Netflix and watch something together with someone on the other side of the world.
Oh really?
There's actually a new app for that people that have YouTube channels and that they watch a particular show. Yeah. And this app's designed that you can follow along with it, so it's got like a timestamp of where they are at the moment, and it's like it's kind of like having a commentary of a movie. Right. And it's just multiple different personalities, and you can tune into the chat. It's like basically like Twitch, but you're watching someone with a timestamp in the movie. And
so with the extension, if one person pauses it pauses on both computers.
Yeah. Well, now those of you who are watching can, I'm assume you know this because you put it on the channel, so you can listen, you can see all these watching like cabbage ASMR at 3 a.m.
No, I wouldn't want people knowing exactly what I'm watching.
It's actually real funny because me and Dave both leave our computers signed into the D20 Multiverse account because it's just easier because we're always doing stuff on that account.
The YouTube channel,
yeah. So on YouTube, like the recommended videos is a mishmash of stuff that he's watched and stuff that I've watched.
So pretty much like Penn and Teller, just all over the place.
Like
and then Passenger.
Yeah, it's like Penn and Teller, Sound of Silence, Poker, and then it suddenly goes Marvel, World of Warcraft,
That sounds like bodybuilder reviews.
Yeah. and then we come across continue watching, and there was one video which you deny that you watch, and I deny I watch. Yeah. It's I think it's like 24 hours of House saying it's not lupus.
Yeah.
Like how
which I swear, I didn't watch. And you didn't watch either, but somehow...
And it's just a clip show of him going, it's not lupus. It's not lupus. And it's 24 hours
24 hours of it.
Yeah, and for some reason it's on our YouTube saying continue watching. Yeah. And I did not.
I didn't watch it either.
Unless I was like on pain medication
we might have like clicked it, and then we just stopped. Clicked off it.
Yeah. See, you can do Nancat for 24 hours as well.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff.
Darth Vader breathing.
The best way to annoy people, the guys at YouTube, is that if there's a 24-hour video, you report it for like inappropriate content, and they have to watch the whole thing.
There was also someone slowed down the Windows boot up sound from like 95. They slowed it down to 24 hours. It's like there's this dude. I can't remember where he's from in the world, but he's completed 1,200 PlayStation games to 100%.
Wow.
Yeah, it's madness. And the look on his face is one of. And the caption was just he's seen some shit.
I've seen some stuff.
So we've got like 10 minutes left on the podcast.
Yeah, so I guess that was a good kind of test run.
Yeah.
Of what we're gonna do.
And hey, thanks Jay Hoover for coming along and watching us. We really do appreciate that.
So if you do want to continue watching, we'll continue listening. We're going to be releasing these on SoundCloud earlier than on YouTube. So.
Yeah. So jump on SoundCloud.
Yeah, it's SoundCloud, download, and we'll see how we go from there.
And if you liked it, tell us what you liked and what you didn't like, so we can change it and maybe we could make it scripted next time.
What's so funny? You laughed at the beginning. You laughed at the end.
My mind floats through several different things. So I just imagine I was looking in the mic and I was just like.
This, do you think that might be your girlfriend? Or
no, the D20 ASMR channel. It's just all nerds of power. You like that? Nerds.
I actually looked it up. I don't think anyone is using it.
Yes, I read that against
But that's
like there's a reason no one's using it. It sucks. It sucks.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not power.
It's not. Okay, like, I'm gonna trademark it.
Yeah.
Just so you can.
Okay. There's this guy at a cafe, right? And behind him are these two businessmen. And they're like spitballing for the name of their new website, and they're getting really into it. Like, yeah, that's a great name. Write that one down. And after the meeting, like, yeah, we got them, awesome. And the guy just turns around and says, and he closes his laptop and turns around and says, I just spent the last half hour buying all those domain names. If you want to buy them back from me, I'll sell them to you.
That man's name, Albert Einstein.
I don't know Nerds of Power though.
Nerds are power.
You can't just say that, and that's a catchphrase. It's a team effort here. And the D20 multiverse.
Me being the team.
Well, looks like none of these episodes are going.
Looks like Ollie's gonna be doing everything himself now.
Boom! The show just got better.
Literally a few days after. Wow, I appreciate Dave so much. It's so much harder than it looks. It's
and you see all the equipment that Ollie has set up?
Yeah.
Look at all. This is my computer there.
Don't you dare exclaim that.
Everyone, welcome to the episode 0 of the D20 Multiverse podcast, where you also listen to the recording of the D20 Multiverse
collapsing.
Yeah, sounds good.
Also, if you're out there listening and I go missing in the next couple of days, if you can just.
I would not kill you over that. I would just stop doing things, and eventually you'll come back saying, "All right, Dave, can you come back?"
I'm amazed that you didn't threaten to shit in my bed again.
It's because, to be honest, I think you want that.
I'm not Scanlan.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you're really into weird things. I mean,
that's true.
I mean, that could be another fetish. I mean, I don't discriminate.
No, because you get poo on my Pikachus that are in my bed, and I don't want them to get dirty.
It's just weird that they're all on all fours on your bed.
I did not design the plushies. I just saw them and thought they were cute.
You did add the fleshlights, though.
You did add the little weird holes that are in them.
Okay, so when you press them, they say, "Ooh, yeah, daddy, harder." I may have made that modification.
You really should have hired someone else to do the voice acting for that. That's
just your own voice.
Hey, that's what works. I know. I'm that narcissist.
Just accidentally tripping over, like, in the middle of the night, Jason hears, "Oh yeah, daddy."
And that's a good.
Jason also Jason's a flatmate for anyone that doesn't know.
Yeah.
And me and him were getting into like one of those banner conversations, and it turns out on Wednesdays he helps Ollie get off. And his girlfriend walked in, and she's just like, yeah.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, so when you're down here on Wednesdays playing music, because I hear that all the time when you play music in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And I think that's how the conversation started. And I go, oh yeah, Ollie plays music all the time. He's like, was that on Wednesday? I'm like, yeah. It's like, he actually plays music, and that's how I get off and help him jerk off. And I was like, okay. And then his girlfriend walks down, and I'm just like, did you know this? And she's like, yeah.
Look, wait. I didn't think we were going to talk about this, and we've only got 5 minutes left, so I think...
Now I know why there's music, because I live down there, the sound from this room travels really well. I hear fucking everything. Yeah. Now half the time I'm just like trying to ignore it, or I just put on like headphones or something.
It's just sound silence.
But every time you cook food, you put on music.
That's true.
Or Jake and Amir.
Or Jake and Amir. Yeah.
And so I just mentioned in the comments like, I knew it was you because there was no music playing. Yeah. He's like, and that's how it all started. So yeah, I'm not going to come up here on Wednesdays when you're playing music.
It's probably a good idea. I have like the gimp mask, a bit of audio.
Why in the kitchen, man? Like, you can just do it in your room.
It's the thrill of being caught.
The only one that can caught you is me. So
that's the thrill. That is the thrill. That is the fantasy. You finally come up at the right time.
It's like Oliver is one flatmate involved in helping get off, and he wants to complete the set.
Exactly. I'm just standing there, fully ready to go. As it's out, and you come up, and we just lock eyes, and that's when
I knew this podcast would end on about chronic masturbation. I just knew it.
Jake and Amir turns to soft piano music. You slowly like two people on Baywatch running at each other in slow motion. Jason, you fall to your knees.
Can sexual harassment happen at home?
Apparently. I wasn't sure until this point, but yes it can.
It turns out it can.
Scientists have always wondered.
I'm hoping we're going to edit all that out before we put it on.
Oh, no. No, because otherwise the podcast would be too short.
If we ordered out all the horrible insights into your life, we're down to about like 5 minutes, man.
This is one of the few moments, I'm guessing, during the week that Dave doesn't have to do any editing. He just clicks upload and that's it.
Yeah. He won't let me do the editing anymore.
Oh, no. I mean, Ollie wants to do it all, so Ollie, you can... load this on SoundCloud. You can do all that stuff.
I'm sure I can figure that out. It should be.
What's
easy.
the password to my computer?
I'm not going to say
it on.
Yeah, no,
like it matters.
Can you also write down your social security number?
We use it for multiple.
We don't have social security in New Zealand.
That's right.
We have ID numbers. I think that's the closest.
I will now do a recitation of my credit card number though.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm so glad you didn't say it because
it's passwords for other stuff as well.
Yeah, it's password other stuff because I said that and I immediately thought, oh shit, he might actually say that.
So thank you for coming along with the inaugural edition.
And episode 0. So episode 0 is really for us to do a bit of a testing. We're gonna put this up and we'll see how it goes.
I was lost during most of that because I don't know much of Marvel and DC.
Yeah. Name another DC character.
See, exactly.
Go do it.
Spider-Man.
You just watched Justice League.
Yeah, you watched Justice League. Who was in Justice League? The only girl that's there.
Yep. Wonder Woman.
There we go.
Hey.
Okay, hold on. Is Cyborg Marvel or DC?
DC.
Okay.
Is Aquaman.
Yeah, DC.
Is
Marvel.
Deathlock.
Yeah, no. Oh, I thought you were going to throw me off.
Deathstroke.
Like, you said DC twice in a row, so I thought you'd break Batman.
Deathstroke. He was in a movie.
Deathstroke, yeah. It was a movie that I saw as well, but we're not going to talk about that one because that might have been Rule 34. Anyway, that is the
inaugural Deathstroke. Do you know who Deathstroke is?
Deathstroke.
Yeah.
Who is he?
Who is it? What are they?
Don't say yeah when you know. I question it. Go on. Who is he? Because you said yeah.
He was one of the guys on the casting couch that went too vigorously, and then. Deathstroke.
Admit you don't know, and then we can leave.
Okay, fine. I don't know who Deathstroke is.
Yeah, he was at the end.
Oh right.
He was that.
The guy that looks like Deadpool.
Yes.
He's in Suicide Squad.
Right.
That's probably.
Here's a bit of trivia. So Deadpool and Deathstroke, they're based off each other.
Yeah.
So Deadpool, his name is Wade Wilson.
Yeah.
And Deathstroke is Slade Wilson.
Right.
Oh.
So
do you reckon it's the same person from different universes that have come together, like alternate realities?
No.
I just think that there's no creativity anywhere.
Deathstroke came out and they wanted to rip off him off.
Right.
And so they did Slade Wilson as like an ultimate parody of it.
Right. Someone actually suggested that before the Deadpool movie, they should have leaked the movie online, and all it would have been was Deadpool playing with action figures of the characters and acting up the entire movie. Someone else was like, dude, great. That would have been better than the movie itself. That would have been incredible.
I mean, like, have you guys seen the trailer for Deadpool too?
No.
Yeah, I have.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, he's painting like Rick.
Yeah, I showed it to you.
What's the guy's
name?
Bob
Ross.
Who is Bob Ross?
He's a painter.
Yeah. He's what
everyone parries it.
My World of Warcraft is Bob Ross of Death.
I don't understand why is he so
because he was like the hallmark for artists, commercial artists. So he was like back in the 80s, 90s, he would paint and he would make videos for like literally beginners on how to paint.
Yeah, but with like tactics and techniques that made it look really good.
So my entire artistic style came from Bob Ross.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see everyone parodying all the time, and
he's so popular.
He's also just a really chill dude who's just like you just watch his videos. They're super relaxing and nice, and
they're really good. Well, to put in perspective, like he had lost his wife to cancer.
Oh, shit.
Right, like he had a really major case of PTSD all in 1 week. But he said he showed up for a recording, and he's just like, things happen sometimes, you know. Like but we have to keep moving on. It's just how life goes, and you know, it's really mellow. It's like really like almost ASMR. He's just like sitting there painting. He's like, we're gonna get some happy little trees here, and we're gonna. It's worth it.
And he's also on Family Guy saying, we're just gonna take a fan brush here. We're gonna take some. We're gonna put a happy little bush right there in the corner there. And that'll just be our little secret.
I like the Deadpool.
And if you tell anyone that bush is there, I will come to your house and I will cut you.
I like the Deadpool one because he paints it and kind of zooms into him and goes back and it's just completely different.
Yeah, I love it. So every scene as well.
Okay, well that's us because we have a thing to get to, so we're gonna go and do that thing.
Yeah, and I've got a wedding.
Yes.
At 3.
I've got nothing on this afternoon if anyone wants to hang out.
How about you just sit here by yourself?
Just wait.
We're gonna leave. He's gonna go here.
But thank you for listening. We will be back next week with Conan and maybe someone from Elisia. We'll have to work it all out. But thanks for watching. If you have watched, wherever you're watching this, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Never change guests. You just keep adding. So it's me, Will, Conan, and then
there's just a whole room
and
just people talking over each other.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you guys.
Thanks, everyone. We'll slap that league.
Man, I'm a dick. Bye.